What's up, YouTube? It's your guy Zeus. Today we're going to be having a rant video about what it's like to be a young male in your 20s in 2025. Before I get anybody commenting about, hey, why are you complaining about being a young guy in 2025? There's people who are worse off in your situation. I understand that. I understand that even though I'm in a privileged position to be here in life, I still have my own complaints. And I kind of just wanted to rant about this today. I don't know how everyone else feels about being a young guy in your 20s, but so much about life right now just kind of sucks. I mean, I feel pretty lost right now. I understand that, you know, hey, you're making $40 an hour in a career and you're doing way better than everybody who would be making less than you, and especially being only 22, I understand that a lot of people are like, I'm graduating college right now with $100,000 worth of debt, but it doesn't change the fact that I still feel pretty lost. It doesn't matter that some people are worse off than I am right now. It's just, I'm stuck here for the next 30, 40 years working, and it feels crazy that I'm spinning my wheels, making $20,000 or $30,000 a year, maybe $40,000 a year than the average person. And the craziest thing to that is that that's $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year more than the average person, but definitely way more than people my age. I know most of the people my age are making between $15 and $20 an hour, and I don't live in a high cost of living area. You know, I don't live in the middle of LA or something. I live in the middle of the Midwest, so it's super cheap living here, and I know that even more. I'm pretty fortunate that I have a job that's able to pay me that much, but it's crazy to me that I still feel like I can barely save money in the current economy. And it's not like I do anything super crazy as far as spending goes. I'm still renting. I don't own a house. I don't even rent like a full apartment or anything. I literally rent a room in somebody's house for $700 a month, which is crazy. I mean, that is considered low and good and, you know, considered normal that, hey, you'd be spending $700, $1,000, $2,000 for rent. Like, that is just crazy to me that you're spending all this money on rent alone and you don't get to spend the rest of your money how you want to spend it or even save it. I'm fortunate enough to be able to save a large portion of my paycheck just because I live below my means. I don't have any debt because I never went to college. I work a blue-collar job, so I didn't really need much schooling. I have a paid-off car, but that is due to me working overtime to be able to pay it off so I don't have any debt. I understand I'm in a really good position for just how everything is, but at the same time, to me, it just kind of feels crazy that, you know, there's people who were able to buy a house at 22 or 25 and they made similar amount of money to me back in like 2000. I don't know the cost of living of every place else in the US, but I know around me houses are like $200,000 just for like a 3-bedroom, maybe a 4-bedroom in a worse area. And that kind of is crazy to me that, you know, I have to have a $2,000 a month mortgage payment because there's an 8% interest rate on a mortgage. You know, like just a couple years ago, people were getting mortgages like 2 or 3%, but like I couldn't do that because I was in high school. Like COVID just messed so much stuff up for me and other young males too. I mean, I'm sure other people are struggling and it might not sound like I'm struggling due to how much I'm making. And I totally understand that. Like, hey, you know, some people don't have a car or aren't able to afford repairs on their car, or some people are living paycheck to paycheck and they don't save. But like, I work hard for all of my money and, you know, I work overtime and it's not like my job is easy. You know, like, I'm not like a white collar worker to just sit inside an air conditioned office all day. Sometimes I'm out there working, you know, in the rain or in the snow or in the 90-degree heat and there's no shade. You know, I don't get to just sit there and chill. You know, I don't get an hour paid long lunch. That's just not something that I get. You know, there's work that needs done, so it gets done. But the financial side of being a like 20s male is not even the worst part. The worst part is just trying to figure out dating and like friendships in 2025. Like, I would care substantially less about my finances if I was able to just go out and talk to people like normally. It seems super weird to me that in current modern day and age, people are just like so obsessed with their cell phones that they don't even care what's going on around them. Literally, I'll be talking to somebody and they will just be there looking at their phone while talking to me, even though I'm right there. We'll be having a full conversation, and then they'll be like, sorry, I didn't hear that. I was scrolling TikTok on my phone, or I was on Instagram Reels, or I was texting somebody. That's common. That's not like an uncommon thing to do. Like, I feel like back when I was younger, especially before like cell phones and smartphones got super popular, you know, you could talk to somebody, and if they weren't paying attention to you, or like they're on their phone, that was considered extremely rude. And it is, because you're not giving me the attention that I deserve when I'm talking. If we're going to have a conversation and we're going to talk, I want you to listen to me and be able to be there like in the actual moment and actually talk to me. If you don't care about talking to me, that's also not a problem to me, but I want to just know that like I don't get to just kind of be there. That's not like a thing that I want to talk to you about. I don't want to talk to you while you're sitting there on your damn cell phone. Please stop talking to me or go away. And normally when people do that, I just kind of stop talking to them, and they'll be like, what's wrong? Why'd you stop talking to me? And I'm like, dude, you're on your phone. Like, I don't want to talk to you while you're on your phone. And this is especially even worse with dating. Oh my God, I hate talking to TikTok brain rot girls. I'm tired of hearing, I'm just a girl, tee-hee, tee-hee. That gives me literal pain in my body hearing that. And along with that, the TikTok girly brain rots. Trying to find a damn wife in 2025 is insane. I don't even know where to start with dating. It's a cesspool. It's a disaster. Either you get the narcissists who only want one night stands and like friends with benefits, and they're like, oh my God, why are you texting me? Like, I know you don't like me like that much. Like, that's so cringe that you talk to me and you like me after we've already, you know, done the deed together. That's just fucking crazy to me. You will just have people who will pump and dump over and over again, and then they get attached to the other person, and then when they finally find that person that they like really care about, they're like, yeah, I don't care about you at all because you were just a one night stand, or like you were just a short-term benefits thing. But the other end of that blade is the gold diggers slash constantly insecure, needs validation girl, and those girls are like almost worse. Like, I had this one girl that I was talking to, and, you know, I thought we had a really good connection. I mean, she's laughing at all my jokes, touching me, you know, flirting with me. And then even when I asked her out to go on a date, she's like, oh my God, what took you so long? I was waiting for you to, you know, ask me out. Like, yes, I want to go out on a date with you. And I was like, okay, you could have asked me first off. I know not all women are like that, but, you know, whatever. We'll go out on a date. I'll see if we have a connection. And literally in 5 days, she's already ready to break up with me because I didn't text her enough. I shouldn't even say break up. We were not even a thing. But I asked her out on like a Thursday or something, and I was like, hey, we should have a date next weekend. And then by next week, she's like, you're not giving me enough attention. Why aren't you texting me back enough? I'm like, first off, I see you 5 days a week because she worked near my job, and I talked to her for 5 days a week. And then it's not like I wasn't even just texting her, like ignoring her to do dumb shit. I was playing like video games and working overtime that weekend. So like I didn't just instantly respond to her all the time. And I still texted her like 10 times over a weekend, like 10 or 15 times. But she was just so insecure that 10 or 15 times is not enough. You need to text me more. And I'm like, we haven't even gone on our first date yet. Like, what is going on? And I understand that's like one particular woman. That's not every woman in the world. But it feels like it. I mean, literally, it feels like every girl is either one night stand, narcissist, super needy and dependent on your validation or just male validation in general, or they're the crazy Delulu chicks who are like, my man must be 6 foot, and he must make six figures, and he must have a six pack, and he must be all that, and he must have a business, and, you know, whatever other standards. He has to have a house and a nice car, and da-da-da-da. And then you're like, well, what do you bring to the table? And they're like, well, I'm in college, and I have $100,000 worth of debt, and I live with my parents, and I can't cook or clean, and I don't want kids, and I just want you to take care of me. And I post thirst traps on Instagram. Dude, what is it like being a young 20s male today? That's the craziest part. People call you stupid for wanting a relationship. What? Like, and then you're called stupid for wanting to get married when, like, every girl who wants a relationship wants to get married. Because, like, you're going to get married and you're going to lose half your shit. And you're going to lose the kids. It's just a nightmare to just talk with people nowadays. I feel like it's just insane. I can't be the only person who's like, yeah, I'm lost and I can't navigate my early 20s anymore because it just feels so complicated and everybody's so superficial or like so invested in their phone. They're just so invested in their phone that they don't even have any hobbies. I mean, like, you're like, hey, what do you do for fun? They'll be like, what do you mean? I just go home and scroll TikTok for 5 hours a night. And I'm like, what the heck have this society become? I don't understand it. It's nuts to me that that's just okay. And I mean, with a combination of like lack of friends, an economy that blows, I don't really own anything. I don't own a house. I don't have a permanent residence, you know. I don't own much material things because I don't have space for them in this room that I'm sharing with my roommate, and I'm just stuck making enough money to pay all my bills, and I am able to invest and grow my wealth, but not to the point where I'm keeping up with inflation. It just seems everything is stacked against you in current society, and I know I'm not the only person who feels like this, like feels lost and feels like society is just so terrible right now. You see all these things online about people who go to foreign countries, like, and start dating, you know, like the whole passport bros thing. And you could go see them go to like poor countries to like go make friends and like actually talk to people. And that just seems crazy to me that like we have to leave the United States, which was once like the best country in the world, so we can go to another country to give them our United States dollars so they can get developed. Because it's so cheap there, and it's a better country than the United States because there's so many people who are going over to those countries. It blows my mind that everybody just thinks this is okay, that the rich people in our society just get so much richer, and all the poor people just get so much poorer. I just don't understand how, like, America has made this divide of rich and poor people in modern America, and this is causing so many men, especially who are young, to just quit. I mean, I hear about this all the time online. People are like unemployed and just sit in their mom's basement and play video games all day. And that seemed to be a insult back when I was in middle school, which middle school wasn't like super long ago for me. It was like 10 years ago. But still, you have like, just in 10 years, that's an insult to call someone like a basement dweller who lives with their mom. And it still kind of is today, but like that's a reality for a large amount of people. You know, I'll go to Discord, go to random communities, whatever, for whatever video games I'm interested in at the time. And it's not like 1 or 2 people who are in this Discord who are living with their parents still at home. It's like everybody who's young. You know, it's like there's like an 80% chance they still live with their parents. Like every guy I know who's not in his late 20s, early 30s, lives with their parents. Like, unless there's some super, like, well off, it's like 80% of people live with their parents who are young. And that just is, like, crazy to me that my parents talk about they bought their first home at 22, my age, for, like, $20,000, and now it's worth $200,000. That's the craziest thing, also, that, like, they had this economy that they grew so much, and, like, so many of them got rich. And my family was placed in an unfortunate situation where I'm getting nothing. You know, like, I know that sounds kind of spoiled to say, like, hey, I'm getting nothing from my parents. Like, yeah, I didn't get the silver spoon. But at the same time, it seems crazy to me that I get to be worse than my parents' generation. And I didn't make any of their financial mistakes. And they screwed up the entire housing market, and I don't get anything. You know, like, I totally understand that there's a large percentage of the world out there who's worse off than I am. And especially in America, there's like a large percent of people who are not going to get their parents' house. But like, my parents don't even own a house. Like, there's no debt. It's just they're renting it. Like, because they can't afford a house because of their generation and their like financial mistakes. But then you see other people who are like, my parents bought a home in 1999 and now it's worth 10x, and they bought 2 rental properties, and that gives them enough passive income or net worth to just live their life, and eventually that's going to get passed down to them, and like, they don't even have to try, and they're going to be worth like $1 million in a couple of years. You know, like, their parents are 60 and they're going to have this property that's going to be worth $1 million, or like properties that are worth $1 million. And they just get that for free because the housing market is just so disgusting, you know? And like, that's entirely the reason why you just feel so disenfranchised as a young 20s male now. Like, everything seems to be against you in the world. It, you know, especially being like a young 20s male who's straight and white, is just like, everybody is saying you have this advantage and you just don't see it. I mean, I understand that the privileges of being young and being in a society where everybody has said that, you know, this is desirable, but we've just been shit on for like the last 10 years. I'm so tired of hearing, oh, a real man, or, oh, it must have been so nice for you, or whatever. Insert generic, you have privilege. Meanwhile, no one's like, hey, you were given an education in an inner city, and like, you were raised with a single mom, and like, she had 4 kids. You're getting nothing from her, and you're gonna have to actually one day support her because she has nothing to support herself with. You know, I just don't understand how everybody says like, hey, you're in the best years of your life. You know, I hear that shit all the time. The 20s are my best years of my life? You know, I'm dedicating all this time to working for my future kids, my future wife. I'm working towards something. And everyone's like, hey, these are the best years of your life. But you don't have any friends. Like, dating's tragic. You don't own anything. And the economy's in the dumpster right now. Anyways, I think that's enough of this rant. But if you guys have any questions, anything you'd like me to expand on, I will definitely do a follow-up video. Just leave something down in the comments for me. I'll be sure to reply. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a good day, and that's the end of this video. So make sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe.